Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about something that's really sensitive to me and sensitive to a lot of people as well. And it is a condition called hyperhidrosis. So hyperhidrosis simply means overactive sweating. So many people suffer with hyperhidrosis across the world, but it's not really talked about because of the shame and the stigma that comes with it. I wanted to share my experience today, my lived experience of it, and to encourage others who live with this condition as well. So, growing up, I lived in Nigeria for a lot of my childhood, and I remember from about the age of 9 years old, I was struggling with oversweating and felt like I was musty. My armpits were more mustier than usual, and no matter how much I showered, I was just musty as hell, really. um, and I just remember just looking at other people, and I'm like, well, other people don't sweat as much as me. Why am I sweating so much, right? And I would always tell, I would tell my dad, I would tell my stepmom, I don't think they understood the gravity of how bad it was, the gravity of the odor, the mustiness that I had, until later on they started to realize how, that it was affecting me as a person in terms of like odor. They would notice, that sweaty mustiness, but they would attribute it to me not taking care of my personal hygiene. And I was like, no matter, even if I entered the shower now, my armpits would literally stink like within less than 5 minutes, really. So it wasn't a matter of that. I did the exact same thing everyone else did. The only difference is it just was there, right? And so in Nigeria, I endured a lot of bullying. There were a lot of, because I eventually went to the boarding school, and I endured a lot of bullying from my classmates. I endured a lot of people making fun of me. But the only difference was I wasn't the type of I wasn't the type of person that you'd bully and I wouldn't say anything. So it's like when they said things, I would also say mean things about them back, because I wasn't necessarily being bullied in the sense that like people were making fun of me and I felt helpless. I felt like I could say something. I was always defending myself essentially, but that doesn't excuse that I was made to feel abnormal or bad because of hyperhidrosis. And then, so a lot of bullying happened. People who just didn't understand, and as I said, that's back in Africa as well, so that's back in Nigeria. There's a lot of stigma when it comes to odor and living with these sort of conditions. People don't understand, and they're much more ignorant about the condition, especially back then. I think now it's a different society, and now that we're older, I think people are more understanding of hyperhidrosis than they were back in the day. But I don't really want to get into like all the sort of experiences I've had in Nigeria, but definitely there was a lot of bullying. There was a lot of people that just didn't understand the condition and made me feel like it was me, it was my fault. Fast forward when I moved to Gambia with my dad, my sisters, my stepmom, basically it was the same thing. I started to get bullied by, or more so not bullied, but like some passing comments or some comments being made by certain people at my high school at the time. Very mean comments as well, and obviously they didn't understand, but at that stage I sort of already knew. I was like 14, 15, so I sort of already knew that there was something weird going on, that I sweat more than an average human being, and there was something abnormal going on essentially. So I started to grasp that already at that stage. When I then went into, so obviously bullying again continued, or more passing comments making fun of me continued. Not everyone did. In Gambia, I think it was different. It was only a handful of people that did. It wasn't as much as it was in Nigeria, basically. But anyways, fast forward to moving to the UK when I was about 15. I was doing my research just randomly. I was going online saying, oh, I'm over sweating, you know, just normal Google search. And it came up with the condition hyperhidrosis. That was the first time in my life that I've actually heard that there was a condition called hyperhidrosis. So I was very intrigued by that. I wanted to understand more about that. I wanted to understand if that was my case. And after reading the symptoms and how some people, sorry, as you can see, I'm sweating a bit as well. After seeing some of the examples and how it can work and how it can be primary in the sense that you can inherit it, it started to make sense. So I went to the GP, asked them for, told them I think I have hyperhidrosis, asked them for if there was any support available. So they offered, I don't think it was Dricklaw, they offered something else, some sort of medicated roll-on. So I was using it and it was working, but because it was so abrasive and so, it had like this burning sensation, it used to burn my armpits a lot. So my armpits would have like that dry eczema-ish flakiness. And it just got to a point like it was really, really bad. So I had to stop using it. Then I came across, what was it? I was hearing about Dricklaw and other things, but I just stopped using it because it just burnt just too much. And I already have sensitive skin. I'm very prone to eczema and just weird redness on my skin, weird situations. So I didn't want to continue with it. So fast forward to uni times. I think this was third year of uni. No, before that, my first year of uni, I came across a I was going to say in college actually, when I was in college over here in the UK, I wasn't really bullied or made fun of with hyperhidrosis. I feel like obviously because it was colder as well, it was cold in the UK, it was much easier to mask. Obviously summer would come and it was really bad, but I would wear like long sleeves and stuff to sort of mask it. Even though it was still there, I've never really heard anyone comment as much. There were maybe 2 people who did say something, you know, in college about it. They were like, oh, you need to use like deodorant or things like that. But it was never like a huge thing, essentially. I don't think a lot of people noticed. It wasn't a big thing. Or if they noticed, I don't think they said anything. Maybe they didn't want to offend me or hurt me or things like that. And then fast forward to uni, obviously endured uni, the same thing. There was a comment made by someone who was actually, at the time, I considered someone very close to me. And the way they made the comment as well was quite hurtful. It was something along the lines of, what was it? I'll paraphrase, but it was something like, oh, they came into one of the rooms, because we had like studio spaces and stuff. So they came into one of the pods and they said something like, oh, why does it smell like armpit in here? And then another friend, someone that I considered a friend, looked at the other person that was there, then looked at me, then laughed. I genuinely think that they didn't understand the gravity of what they did. So I'm not going to sit here and fully blame them or say that they did something quite horrible. Obviously it wasn't a nice comment, but they were just as ignorant as everyone else, really. Fast forward to third year of uni. Sorry, before that, I had already done my research, first year, second year, done my research about a procedure called mirror dry, which is a procedure, permanent procedure for hyperhidrosis. When I brought this to the attention of a family member at that point, they sort of not discouraged me about it, but they weren't really keen on me doing that. And I listened to that member of staff. I listened to that family member. What I could have actually done was just gone for the procedure early enough. But that's fine. I did it anyways. So fast forward to third year of uni, I decided to do more research about that. Saved up some money, and then went to to have mirror dry done in a cosmetic facility in Harley Street in London called Cosmo Beauty. I think that's what's pronounced as. And that was the best decision I've ever done in my life. Mirror dry was the best investment that I've ever done. So what happens is they have like this laser looking device. So they numb you with like multiple injections, numb your underarms, and then they pass a very hot current, but because it's numbed, you don't feel it, and they pass the current and it basically burns off your sweat glands. Now, would I say that I still sweat? Yes, I do, but I actually would argue that I sweat less than most people that I know. And even though I sweat, there is barely any odor, or if there's odor, it's like just, you know, how other people have odor, basically. It did something so tremendous for my life. It changed my life. And although I still have, because I have primary hyperhidrosis, sorry, I forgot to say, it is genetic. So in the sense that I still have hyperhidrosis on my face, on my torso area as well. And the only place I sorted out was my underarms. So my face, you know, I just carry a flannel with me or face towel anywhere that I go. With my body, it's not that bad because as long as I go to an area that there's a fan or I fan myself, eventually that goes away. So I'm not really worried too much about like my torso area sweating. Sometimes when it sweats too much, I do get rashes under my, you know, boob area, but that's fine. That can be sorted out. I can use powders and things like that. My face as well, I can always just come on, use what's it called, creams on my face and just clean my face a lot. So it's much more manageable, even though it's still annoying that I have to carry a flannel to go to certain places where others would just be able to walk and do what they want to do. I'm still lucky that I was able to afford mirror dry on my underarms as well. And yeah, I know that some people are not able to, sorry, something just got stuck in my throat. I know that some people are not able to afford that. So it's something that's difficult when I talk about it because it's not easy. And for some people that have had mirror dry, I've heard that it hasn't worked for them. The procedure that I had and where I had it, I think makes a difference. I went to a very reputable place that does cosmetic procedures. For some people, they might have gone to another service which was maybe cheaper, and the way the mirror dry was done over there wasn't the proper way or the best way. And so I recognized that. But that procedure literally changed my life. But I still have the, you know, hyperhidrosis on my face and stuff. And sometimes it's so annoying because of hyperhidrosis, I don't actually wear a lot of makeup because I'll sweat it out again. Especially during the summer, it's like makeup is like a no-go for me during the summer. During the winter, here and there, I could wear stuff. And also, I think it's easier to treat the face as well. So there is actually a procedure, there is a spray called Odoban, which you can actually spray on your face. Basically, it stings, but it doesn't cause that sort of like dry flakiness-ish that the other underarm stuff caused that I got from the GP. So Odoban it's maybe like 19 quid or so. You can get it on Amazon. It doesn't need to be, it's over the counter sort of situation. So that actually works. And it works for like 4 days. Once you spray it once and apply it, it actually works for 4 days. So that is something that I can use now. I can manage the stinging. It's annoying. It's a bit annoying because it does sting quite badly, but it only stings for like 10-ish minutes and then it's gone. And then you wake up the next day, wash your face, shower as usual, and it helps to block off the sweating. But I think I got tired of just trying to like mask it and do so many things. So at the moment, I'm not using Odoban. I'll probably buy it again, but for now, I just leave my skin the way it is. If I sweat, I sweat. Because guess what? Living with hyperhidrosis is not something that's easy. and people will never understand. They don't understand how you live with embarrassment. They don't understand the difficulties that you experience with the condition. They just think, oh, everyone sweats, everyone does this, but they don't understand that it's not just sweating. For some people, it's the odor. For some people, it's the sweating excessively. For me, I sweat during winter, summer, spring, autumn. It's the sweating. Even when it's snowing, it's sweating. You're sweating. When it's raining, I sweat. So people don't understand the gravity of how difficult it is for people to live with hyperhidrosis. And so, like as I said, for me, my adaptation is I take flannels to most places I go to. There's always a flannel in my bag, or I'm carrying one on my hand if I'm going to like a light errand. But there's always things that I do basically to try and minimize that for myself, to try and manage the condition. But yeah, it is tough. It is tough to live with it. You know, I want to be able to just put makeup on my face, go out, look beautiful, look good, but I can't do that as much. Granted, I don't really like makeup like that, but I still want to be able to, on occasions, put makeup and not have to worry that I'm going to drench it and the makeup is going to go into my eyes and burn. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't have to deal with that. I wouldn't have to deal with that if I didn't have hyperhidrosis. But I just wanted to share that with you today. I know that some of you are living with this condition and it's not easy. And I send my regards to you, and I send positivity your way. And if you ever need to talk about the condition, if you ever feel like you're in a dark place because of the condition, please do feel free to talk to me. I'm happy to speak to you about how you're feeling, and I'm happy to encourage and support you as well. This is what this safe space is about.